921, welcome back. A serial thief who posed as a police officer to get landscaping work has been sentenced to 4 years in jail.
But as our defenders reported, there's still likely victims out there. Carlos Elizondo has now been charged with theft 10 times in Bexar County in 3 years. A judge last month revoked his probation for previous convictions and gave him 1 year in jail for each count. The
judge calling Elizondo, quote, a wolf who preys on the sheep of society, unquote. Elizondo accused time and again of claiming he's a police officer, taking money for lawn care or for fence work, then failing to complete the job. One woman who testified in court against Elizondo said more than a dozen people reached out to her on Facebook after she posted about her experience with him.
Their time has passed, but he did this to them and told me their story, and one of the reasons why I'm here and following through.
This is one of those mind-blowing stories that you've done. Dylan Collier joins us now to talk more about it. So this suspect, very familiar to the police department.
Yeah, I mean, 10 cases in Bexar County alone have been developed against him since 2014. And from what I've been told by investigators, it's probably dozens and dozens and dozens of victims. They've only been able to actually prosecute him on close to a dozen at this point.
And as we've hinted at, obviously you guys found some holes in his claims about being a law enforcement officer.
The good thing about SAPD, when they arrest someone, there's now video of the arrest. So we have a full dialogue of what he tells people. And here he is in May 2016, claiming that he was the Lytle police officer for 2 years and then moved to the sheriff's office and actually worked as a CERT deputy, which is kind of their advanced team inside the jail that responds to emergency situations. We have state records that we can go and verify with. That showed that he did work for Lytle PD, but it was for about 5.5 months, and that he never worked for the sheriff's office, another thing that we were able to verify with BCSO. So the same thing he was telling victims when he would go to their house, that he was a current SAPD officer, that he was a CERT deputy. He also told SAPD officers when they would bring him in on warrants.
Wow.
Stuff that's easily verifiable.
It's just blatant lies.
Right, exactly.
Lies. All right, you were in court with him last month.
Yes.
Did he have an explanation for his actions?
His attorney compared him to a Shakespearean character and called this a tragedy. Said that this is someone who took in all this work to try and make enough money so that he could provide for his family, and that he basically kept taking on work even though the ship was sinking, the ship being his lawn care company and then later a fence company that he had started, when in reality what was described by investigators as someone that would accept money, usually half or a partial payment for work, and either do little or no work at all and then move on to the next person.
Well, I know this story probably is making a lot of people mad just watching, hear about it, but this is where things get truly disturbing. Yeah. Apparently the case filed against Elizondo now includes possible threats against the San Antonio police detective that was handling these cases.
He told other officers he went in to file a complaint against the detective for essentially doing his job. The detective developed these cases and took them to the district attorney's office. He told other officers that he had researched the detective's family, knew the name of the detective's son, that they at one point had attended the same church here in town. And then the part that really stuck out to me was that Elizondo and his wife, for their fence company, would use the detective's name plus a vulgar phrase as the actual email address for their company. Wow. And this went on for an untold amount of time. You know, the official invoice for the fence work would actually have an expletive combined with the detective's name at gmail.com, which is crazy.
You mentioned his wife. They shared the business together, but she hasn't been charged in anything.
She has not been formally charged in any way. The current company, Elizondo Fencing, is registered to her name. So the threat report filed by this SAPD detective names her for that reason.
And in this video right here, he's staring at our photographer. And no kidding, Dylan was telling us off camera, that wasn't just a brief encounter.
It's constant.
Constant. We're talking, you said, like 10 minutes straight. He'd stare straight into our camera lens.
Yeah, I mean, you could see it over and over again. Obviously not happy that we're there. This was when he was sentenced to 4 years in jail. But I mean, this is what we do for a living. This is someone, as Judge Wayne Christian said, preyed upon society time and time again. And the thing is, there's an untold number of victims still out there. SAPD Property Crimes has a number that you can call if you've been a victim, 210-207-7658. And I don't think we'll ever truly know how many people he took money from and didn't do work for.
Is there anything that the victims can do to get some of their money back, or what happens with them?
He did pay, through his mother-in-law, did pay restitution on the 4 cases that he's been convicted on. It was piecemeal and over several months, so the best thing you can do is contact police, let them develop the case, take it to the district attorney's office, and once he's convicted, it'll take a while, but as he showed in the past 4 convictions, you will get your money back eventually.
It's North Property Crimes, 207-7658. Again, if you've been a possible victim of Elizondo.
If you haven't seen his story, please go to ksat.com and watch it. It really was a head scratcher.
This was a compelling one. Again,
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Dylan.
Yep.